It was like everybody else who was dealing with this. There's two prongs. We were dealing with ourselves as a workforce, me as a manager of 3,000 people who were in physical spaces in their offices. At the same time, we knew that we were the front lines of delivering benefits to folks who needed it immediately. And there really wasn't a telework function in state government across the board. So on top of having to do our work, we also had to outfit our own employees with laptops. And if you remember back then, every person in the world was trying to buy laptops to do remote work or remote schooling. So in the beginning, we couldn't even get a guarantee from our vendors that we would get the laptops. So unfortunately, me and a lot of our executive staff went all over the state and across the river into Pennsylvania, going to Best Buys to buy laptops because we knew that every single laptop we were able to outfit at that point in time, in that immediate week or first 2 weeks when they were unavailable, meant hundreds of more claimants being served a day. We were so jammed that we didn't have enough physical phone lines. Everything in a digital virtual world, you forget there's actual physical phone lines coming into our system. So we actually, like within the first week, worked with our vendors, worked with our phone vendors to increase the number of lines to basically to a virtual system that was unlimited. So that went from folks not hearing anything to at least getting to our automated system where they could choose a function, whether it be creating a claim or getting information about their claim or having to talk to an agent. But in the end, we couldn't clone our agents, so there's still a backup on that. But at least they can get through to something. It's been a great reduction, no doubt about it, but not reduced enough. So a lot of the efforts that we're doing to email claimants to try to keep them from having to call them in the first place, because in the end, as I said at the hearing on Tuesday, it's really, in the end, it's a supply and demand issue. We're trying to increase the supply of claims agents and also trying to reduce the demand of people who need to talk to them. So it's definitely been a reduction, but at the same time, I know there's still way too many claimants out there who are having trouble getting through. But it's not like it was in the beginning when people would literally make thousands and thousands of calls a week and not hear anything. At least now, it's not thousands of calls. They might need to make multiple calls for sure to get through. In fact, sometimes we get complaints that people are getting through a lot and they're hearing different things from different agents. So obviously people are getting through, but we don't have enough supply of agents to meet the demand at this point. That's why we're still working every day to make sure that we're increasing that supply and reducing the demand. Listen, like I said earlier, while we are serving New Jersey's workers to the tune of 1.5 million claimants, we are all workers ourselves. And our employees here have families, they have kids who are dealing with virtual learning in the home with them. They themselves or their family members might be at risk, who can't leave the house, who need medical care. Obviously, unfortunately, we've had staff members who have come down with COVID. We have staff members we've lost because of COVID. None of this is easy. And I think that our employees, quite frankly, who are used to dealing with folks in dire situations, clearly the volume of it now is more than ever before. But even pre-COVID, usually people weren't calling our department with good news. They were calling here because they're unemployed. They were calling here because they got injured on the job. They were calling here because they have some kind of medical emergency. They need to take temporary disability or they need some kind of training. So our staff at Department of Labor is used to dealing with workers and residents who might not be in the best position. But the volume of this, while also dealing with it in their own lives, has definitely been traumatic for our workers. And to be on the phone all day with people who are emptying their bank accounts, people who are having trouble putting food on their table, people who are getting evicted, and they need their benefits now. And to be on the other end of the phone with so many of my caring staff who sometimes don't have anything, there's nothing they can do. If this person is not eligible, we don't have the right to make them eligible. But at the same time, we have resources for them. We have resources for our own staff. We have programs for our staff to talk to somebody about something, because we're on the phone all day with folks who are in dire situations. It gets tough. But at the same time, it's rewarding knowing that we're able to help so many people. I mean, our staff are the reasons that $15.7 billion has been pumped into our economy. It's not just about putting food on the table for our claimants. It's about them being able to go to the corner market and buy produce that's going to help that shopkeeper. The amount of money that we've pumped into the economy, I think, hasn't only just kept our claimants afloat, I think it's kept a lot of New Jersey businesses afloat as well, which has a real multiplier effect. So I think that helps keep our staff going, knowing the importance they're having on our state right now. But there's no doubt that there are some down days for our staff, depending on what's gone on the phone that day with people who are in real dire situations.